Hi, I'm Jello.
And I'm Tommy.
And episode 7 is a gift from heaven.
And I hate your rhymes.
Let's just not talk about it and go.
Full moon!
You said it by yourself, you idiot.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's time for the Mini Moon Minute. Let's go.
Pluto is back, and the Outers ask the princess for forgiveness.
The Deathbusters are slowly invading, and the Outers are the only ones strong enough to fight them.
And there's more to Uranus than we know.
The Mugen Academy is under the radar because of more students disappearing, so Chibiusa is asked to spy on Hotaru.
Professor Tomoe tosses shade at Kaoli Knight for being such a failure, and Pharaoh 90 demands that she find a new source of power.
Cyprine gets called, and Kaoli Knight gives her a shopping list. Kill the Inners,
Kill the Outers!
and get a substitute for the Tyron Crystal.
Hotaru invites Chibiusa for a playdate, but stands Chibiusa up because she's a bitch getting some work done.
Chibiusa goes to check up on Hotaru and notices her bionic additions and pieces the out.
Hotaru goes through it again.
A nasty hailstorm turns into a massive host-stealing session, and Cyprine is able to uncover Haruka as Tail Uranus.
Uranus, planet power, make up!
And the Outers fight together.
The Inners notice the brawl, and Usagi demands they help.
Level 999 Ribbon Buster coming right up.
1, 2, and 3 down.
But not out.
Ribbon Buster number 2.
But Mars Snake Fire turns it into a busted ribbon.
All caught up and nowhere to go except for a Tyron Crystal mind trip.
All the girls are seeing red, and a fight ensues.
Mercury Aqua Mist.
Burning Mandala.
Venus Love Me Chain.
Submarine Reflection. Then Pluto takes a stab,
Sailor Moon is sick of this and goes for a moon spiral heart attack,
but ends up adding Piddle to the battle,
Chibi Moon is over this bickering and tries a pink sugar heart attack.
which pisses off Jupiter, and she tries to shut the kid up. But Tuxedo Mask shuts the bitch up.
It's a time of crisis, so the moons have a family gathering and out comes a little surprise.
One of the big things happening in this episode was the theme of forgiveness. We saw the Outers begging for forgiveness from Princess Serenity.
Well, it was really interesting to see because Pluto finally came back into the mix.
Yes.
Chibi Moon was so excited to see her, and I love that Pluto right away knew their relationship from the past.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Nothing changed.
Yeah.
When Usagi turned into the princess, they all came and they were kneeling and they said, like, you know, this is our mission. Our mission is different than yours. We protect the solar system from invaders. And essentially they were talking about how they failed because the Deathbusters have been like taking over.
Because they were actually reincarnated later than the Inners. So they missed the train, kind of. They weren't at the right place at the right time, and now they have to make up for lost time. And this is why they had this obligation to try and protect the universe. And also they were mentioning there was an anomaly, a warp in time and space that allowed the Deathbusters to enter into their universe, which I'm wondering, where would that have come from possibly?
My hole.
I'm wondering maybe if it's from Chaos, maybe from the Sailor Stars.
I mean, I can't tell you. I don't remember.
Maybe I'm wondering if this is actually going farther into the series, and it's actually Chaos's fault from the last season, the last chapter.
Now, one of my favorite parts about this as well was how they started talking about how Haruka is actually both male and female. So for me to be seeing this is kind of amazing, like just especially with what's happening in the world right now. And stuff
Yeah,
like
very
that.
current, yeah.
And so, you know, Haruka was talking to Usagi and how she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to confuse you. And then Neptune was like, Haruka is both male and female. She is both sex and strength of male and female.
But now with Pluto back on the scene and reincarnated and a bit more powerful than before, as Chibiusa mentioned, we do have the 3 talismans all together. And this is what actually separates them from the Inners. They have more strength, they have these weapons that can be used to protect the galaxy, and so they're better equipped, and they're saying to these Inner bitches, off girls.
Let us do what we gotta do.
We gotta do this, we're not fighting together still, but they're cool at least. It's quite different than the original anime.
It's totally different than the original anime because I think it's actually a much stronger storyline.
Yeah.
These characters know exactly what they're here for, and they are not even gonna let the Inners help them because, like they said, this is their jurisdiction. They know what they're doing. You're just getting in the way, protect the princess, and off.
So that was really cool to see as well too, and a total veer off from the original anime. Okay, so now let's talk about the Bionic Queen herself, Hotaru.
Her father is doing experiments on her. Like, we don't really know exactly what kind of experiments, but apparently, like, he's putting in different body parts?
Yeah, implants.
Hotaru actually had invited Chibiusa out they wanted to go to a movie,
Get
they wanted
together.
to hang out, yeah.
Yeah, I want to chill. Netflix and chill.
Netflix and chill.
Crunchyroll and chill.
And Hotaru totally, like, stood her up. So Chibiusa went to Hotaru's house, and that's where we saw her bionic parts, which to me, like, made me realize this is kind of a crazy arc. Like, that is not necessarily something that I would expect in a kid's show.
Yeah, and your dad is experimenting on you, and
Yeah, no, and why is he experimenting on her? Like, this is what I want to know. So we had a little bit of a flashback about the fire and her mother
mom getting caught
dying.
in the fire, and she was caught in the fire as well, and then she woke up with her dad helping her out.
Yeah, so I want to know if he's operating her to keep her alive, or if there's another reason, wink, wink, you know, and that's probably why she's having all of these internal battles, wink, wink.
But also, it seems like her body can handle all these additions to her, because she does have, it seems like, an ability to heal herself. We saw that with Chibiusa, and we saw that with her. You could see her skin all torn off, and then it just healed suddenly. Also, we got a chance to see Chibiusa having a mission from the Inners. Professor Tomoe is on the radar now for being a total quackpot, and the Inners want more info on this guy, and they know that Hotaru, of course, is the daughter of Professor Tomoe, and that Chibiusa has an in with her, so they ask her, they tell Chibiusa, you need to give us the 401 on this guy through Hotaru, keep an eye on her. So it's really cool to see that development in her instead of her being, again, the whiny piece of shit
brat
that no one likes from the original anime. So off old Chibiusa, welcome to the team, new Chibiusa, we love you.
One thing that I noticed that was totally kind of crazy was when Chibiusa ran away after seeing Hotaru's crazy body, Hotaru was holding the crystal and she saw a vision of the 3 outer scouts kind of like watching her or judging her or something. So
and in civilian form too, not
in civilian form, which is really crazy. So I want to know what the connection is between that. I mean, I know what the connection is. You
have
know?
a good idea.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I really like seeing. And now we're seeing Hotaru getting pulled into the actual storyline of the Sailor Senshi.
Now with the 3 Senshi together, it's almost like their powers are stronger, and they're calling for that 4th addition to the team to finish it off. So we'll see how that translates in the next few episodes.
So Kaoli Knight summoned the final member of the Witches 5, Cyprien, and she told her to go and get rid of these inner Senshi and the outer Senshi and get the crystal. So right away, this girl is ready for it. She's a level 999 witch.
She's maxed out.
She is pretty much maxed out. You can't get any higher than that unless you become a Magus like Kaoli Knight. And she goes and she finds Haruka in her civilian form and attempts to kick the shit out of her. Haruka dodges, transforms, inner Senshi sees all this, outer Senshi comes and helps her, and now we are in the scuffle of the season.
Century.
I could not breathe. I was breathless.
It was hardcore. It was a moment where these 2 teams would fight together, but instead they were fighting against each other.
I have never seen that. Even in the original anime, we saw like a little bit of Jupiter and Uranus squabbling, but like this was a full-out brawl. So let's break it down a little bit what we saw. First of all, Usagi did not get affected because of her crystal.
Duh.
Right away, the first thing I noticed is Sailor Jupiter has some major rage issues.
She's a major rager. She even wants to kill a poor little kid.
Which I would too.
Well, I would kill the old Chibiusa from the old anime, but this one's a nice one. She needs to stick around for a bit. And she threw a pink sugar heart attack at them. Fuck off.
I know,
I wouldn't
like
do anything anyway. Please, yeah.
And then another thing that I really liked is seeing the outer Senshi fighting together for the first time. So we had Sailor Uranus, who was really on the offense with her sword. Neptune blocked
on the defense with her Deepwalker mirror.
And like all those crazy attacks from the inner Senshi, she blocked them like no one's business. And then Pluto comes in from behind
to try and finish them off.
It was so good.
And then we also saw the attacks from the Inners. We saw the Mercury Aqua Mist.
The originals.
The Burning Mandala and the Venus Love Me Chain. I do wish we saw some attacks from the Outers as well to counterbalance. Pluto did nothing.
Oh my god, Pluto's back. She was so fierce. I'm like, well, if you really think about it, she didn't do much. She got her ass kicked by Cyprien, and then she just kind of like flew in, and that was it. So Pluto needs to
when she got the level 999 hit from the Ribbon Buster, she got knocked down. The other 2 bitches actually didn't. So Pluto, welcome back to the team. And get it together, girl.
Seriously.
Yeah. And speaking of level 999, I guess level 999 allows you to split your body, because when Sailor Moon does her moon spiral heart attack, she made a double Pitilol, or whatever her name is.
Pitilol. If you could tell us how to pronounce that, I will send you some stickers.
Leave a comment below, because we need to know how to pronounce this bitch's name.
Phonetically.
So somehow Sailor Moon's power was able to channel a second body out of Cyprien, and now they only double their chances of losing.
these villains are great. The one thing that I do love about this episode is that we are going to get a second episode with this witches.
Thank you. We're not going to get them killed off that quickly this time.
Which
Jeez.
I like.
Yeah.
I wish we got that last week when we had Tellu, because that one was like...
She was a fierce bitch.
She was getting done.
And I like Willowy too. She's my favorite, but that's just me being a piece of. Of course, the Holy Grail comes along, as we mentioned, and then it just cuts. It was such a good
cock tease. It was such a cock tease.
They did it last week too with Pluto being introduced.
Well, I think they did it better this week, because last week it was like fight, 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 Pluto, and then it was over. But this one, it was like we got some action with the fight. The family came together, and the chalice came out, and then it ended at the right spot. I didn't want to see Super Sailor Moon yet. I want to see her in the next one because I want a full episode.
Yes, and we'd like to see Cyprian and Pithole a little bit more get their ass kicked, because they're bitches.
I know. Of course, the fight was like the #1 moment of this episode, of the season so far.
Over and over again.
And over again.
So good.
So now we're gonna break down what we liked personally. For me, I actually really liked how Sailor Jupiter kind of stood out from everyone else as being really, hard-headed, very stubborn, very ragey. I want to know more about her internally, because she was the only one that didn't want to help the Outers when they were watching them. And she was like, why should we help them? They don't want to help us, which I kind of agree.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. And then also when they were fighting the other scouts, she went like full attack
on
rage.
poor Chibi Moon.
And on Uranus, like she has some major rage issues, but I kind of like that about her character. She's a bully. She's like a bruiser. I'm into it.
My favorite moment was actually seeing Chibiusa again coming more of age, having that responsibility thrust onto her by her friends and her mother, essentially, to go spy on Hotaru. It is kind of a conflict of interest in a way, because she does have feelings for Hotaru as a friend, but she goes on with the duty and says, you know what, I'm a Sailor Guardian first. I'm going to check you out, Hotaru, and hopefully you're A-okay, because I don't want to cut a bitch. But she's probably going to have to.
Thanks for watching, guys. This week's episode was packed full of so much drama and action. Cannot wait for next week. Next week, we're actually going to come at you a little bit earlier, probably by Wednesday.
So tune into our channel, youtube.com/OOYMTV. Also, a few quick shout outs to a few of our viewers. Justo, Leandro, Mogrovejo, Vilka. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you for your lovely comment. Continue watching, because we love the support. Another big shout out to Justin Jappe. Thanks again for...
Again!
I know.
Wow.
Justin, you're the best. And a quick shout out to Amelia Forever, asking for please official version. I hereby label this version official. I don't know what you're asking for, but I hope you continue watching and like the episodes as we go full moon.
You said it alone.
We'll see you next week, and don't poo on my sheets. Thanks so much for watching. If you missed last week's episode, click here for episode 6. Also, be sure to check out the Fake Nerd Guys on Facebook.com/Fake Nerd Guys for gender-bent cosplay at its very best.